Welcome, EOS Nation community, to the Hot Sauce number 213, presented live on Friday, August 25th, 2023. The EOS delivers EOS news and updates every week on YouTube in less than 20 minutes. And today we're pleased to share updates talking about the Leap 5.0 upgrade that's coming. The network is disabling deferred transactions. Important information about that. Last call to opt out of the Block 1 class action. EOS Labs on the Chinese fireside updates. ENF was on CoinMarketCap Spaces promoting the EOS network. The ENF has some office hours that are coming up. Antelope IBC webinar recap and some Upland Racing, as well as another announcement. So please stay tuned until the end of the show for that. All right, let's jump right into it. Last call, very important. If you have not opted out yet and you do not want to participate in the current Block 1 class action, and you'd like to participate in the one organized by the EOS Network Foundation, you have to opt out. You only have a few days left, literally like 2 days left or 3. EOSnetwork.com/blog/opt-out is where you go to opt out. And there's a little form at the bottom of this article. It allows everyone to opt out as a person and not as a group. All right. Moving on, quick little update. EOS Labs last week, Mr. Wen, the leader of the EOS Labs organization, was on the Chinese version of the fireside, answering questions of the community. And there's an update coming for that, but it's not yet published, but it's probably going to be within the next 24 hours. So we're gonna have more to learn about EOS Labs when that article comes out. All right, the big story this week, EOS Network disabling deferred transactions in preparation for Leap 5.0 upgrade. So what does this mean? So basically, together with the EOS node operators, the EOS Network Foundation has developed a plan to disable deferred transactions, known as scheduled transactions, by Thursday, September 14th, 2023. The step is necessary to further strengthen the reliability and performance of the EOS network in preparation for the release of Leap 5.0. So action is required if you're either a node operator or an application developer. Pay attention. So node operators must disable deferred transaction for all nodes on the EOS network no earlier than Friday, September 8th, no later than Thursday, September 14th. Very important. So every application developer must also remove deferred transaction dependencies in their application no later than Thursday, September 7th to avoid service disruption. Why the change? Deferred transactions were officially deprecated in October 2019. Since then, they've remained a troublemaker. They add undue complexity to running nodes, providing history and understanding smart contract behavior. So how do deferred transactions complicate things? Like it was just said, it complicates things for nodes. There's some complexities regarding history and also regarding contract assumptions. Now the question is, why are we removing them now and not maybe a few years ago when they were deprecated or later? Well, it's because for the Leap version 5.0 upgrade that is coming up in December, deferred transactions will no longer be possible at that time due to the protocol feature called instant finality, which is going to bring great improvements to the network. So that's a very exciting feature. Everyone's excited for that. But in order for that to happen, we cannot have any deferred transactions anymore. The reason we're stopping the deferred transactions in September instead of in December is to give us a couple of months to see if there's some impacts, to allow apps to fix their applications if there's issues without now that the deferred transactions are gone and stuff like that, so that once we do get to December, deferred transactions are not a variable anymore in the big upgrade that's coming. And so here there's further instructions if you're actually a node operator on how to disable these transactions and some more history around that, around this topic if you want to go dig in there. All right, moving on to our next story. Oh, actually, before we move on, we had Brian Hazard from the ENF, who's leading this Leap 5.0 upgrade. He was on with us on the fireside this week and talked about 10 minutes about disabling deferred transactions. So if you want to learn more, definitely hit up the fireside from this week and go straight to the source and hear it directly from Brian. All right, next story. Just wanted to mention yesterday, the big beard samurai Eve, the CEO of the ENF, the CEO of the ENF was on CoinMarketCap live talking about the EOS story. This happened yesterday. I think you can still see the replay if you visit the links here shared through the Twitter from the EOS Network Foundation. And finally, some other news from the ENF. There's new office hours that are coming up for the ENF. So Brandon announced this on the fireside this week. Brandon Lovejoy is going to be present during these office hours. Basically, it's just going to be a hangout in the EOS community Discord where anyone could just drop in, chat with Brandon, chat with other employees of the ENF. Potentially Nathan James is going to be showing up from time to time, potentially other devs, potentially other people from the ENF. So if you've got questions, you want to talk it out with the ENF, that's going to be your chance to do that. Likely going to start Thursday next week. The time has not been confirmed yet, so stay tuned for more information about that. All right, and as well, last week, the ENF hosted a webinar about exploring Antelope IBC. So they published a blog article about it, kind of recapping some of the information contained in there, and also giving information on how to watch the replay of this webinar if you're interested in doing that. So I'm not going to go too deep in this article. It is fairly technical, but there are some nice graphical illustrations here that helps us understand a bit more how IBC works. And here's the simplified verification flow. And basically, the webinar consisted of 4 panelists: Areg, Director of Engineering at ENF, John Heater, CEO of Boyd.com, Philip Habnett, CTO of Chintai, and Seth, COO of Boyd.com. 4 legends in the EOS community, and I'm sure you're going to learn a lot about IBC if you check out this webinar. And of course, there's more Antelope IBC resources if you're looking to learn more. Check out the latest blog post on the ENF website. And here's the link in case you want to submit your information in order to watch the replay. All right, last story of the day, Upland Racing update. I'm just continuously impressed by the amount of updates and news and events and new apps and all sorts of promotions going on Upland. Here we're talking about Upland Racing game, which is a layer 2 game that you play inside of the Upland metaverse. And some racing controls were added, etc. So if you've been racing, you're gonna have more fun. And I just wanted to kind of highlight this to showcase just continuous news from Upland, the #1 GameFi app on the EOS network. All right, so that's gonna wrap it up for the news for today. However, like I said at the top of the show, there's one more announcement I want to make. And that announcement is that, unfortunately, the weekly version of the EOS Hot Sauce is no longer going to be produced. So we're not going to be retiring the Hot Sauce brand completely. We love it way too much for that. But we are going to be retiring the weekly production of these shows. We're not leaving YouTube without their weekly dose of EOS news. Of course, the fireside happens every week. That event has become very popular. We got a lot of people joining in the attendance. We got a lot of special guests joining as well. And it's kind of become that one event where the EOS community hangs out once a week, listens to the news, shares their comments, off-topic banter. It's been pretty fun. So you can still get your news there. The topics are always broken down. You can quickly scan through the event to listen to what you're interested in. So definitely, if you want to continue to have your weekly dose of EOS news, you can have that there. As for us, as for the Hot Sauce, we're probably going to keep doing some shows from time to time. For example, maybe Hot Sauce Pomelo Season 7 Special Edition or other special editions when it makes sense. So quick history in case you haven't been following the Hot Sauce since the very start. Basically, EOS Nation, as a block producer on the EOS network, we started a Hot Sauce as kind of a community offering as a service to promote the ecosystem to the, in general for the EOS network. However, that role is no longer really expected of block producers. That's been taken over by the EOS Network Foundation and potentially this other new entity called EOS Labs as well. So we considered, hey, does it still make sense to make the hot sauce or not? Pomelo came around. We're like, oh, cool. Maybe we can get funding from Pomelo to do the hot sauce, which we did. And we thank you very much for everyone who's donated to the hot sauce over the years. It was great. Those 3 seasons of Pomelo grants that we ran helped us to continue the hot sauce for almost an extra year. So that's been awesome. And thanks a lot for everyone who supported us. We're not going to be putting up a grant for Pomelo season 7. We're going to be wrapping up the weekly show this week. But like I said, probably going to continue to do some special editions from time to time. So thank you everyone that's made the hot sauce possible over the last 4 years and 213 episodes. Kind of crazy when you say it like that. Shout out to Martin doing the ecosystem scan every week and came up with the branding. We had a bunch of hosts, Daniel Keys, Yves Larose, Dogman, myself, Martin, and others as well. And so Shramona on the graphics, Dave and Yana on the production tables, and I'm probably forgetting a couple people as well. And a lot of people that shared some criticisms, some constructive ones, some suggestions, all of that. So thank you everyone for following us all these years. It's not over, but the weekly show is going to be over. All right, so on that news, that's gonna wrap it up for the weekly EOS Hot Sauce. And until next time, let's keep it spicy.